Good morning, everyone. This is Bhikkhuni Vimala, and it's time for another meditation together. I heard from a friend this morning that these meditations are also on our podcast. So if you go to the Blue Lotus Podcast, you can catch me. But podcasts are a great idea. I wanted to do this live, face-to-face, because we're all so isolated. But I think as we're moving through our days, a lot of times podcasts are the perfect way to get what we need to listen to, different practices, different teachers, there's so much on podcasts that I'm really happy that I'm sure it was Bob Hartwick that got it up there. So thanks. I hope you can see well. I hear garbage trucks outside this morning at my place, so there's a little bit of extra noise. So I hope everyone is doing well today. I do know that most of us by now absolutely know people who have been seriously affected by the virus, that either because of their financial situations, not being able to work, or concerns about their loved ones. You may have contracted the virus. You may know others who have. And we're all being hit, I think, every day with everything coming closer to home. Even as we know now that we're getting close to the peak, hopefully, and things may be feeling better, and we may be able to feel like we can breathe a lot easier soon. But right now we're right in the midst of it, and we're asking a lot of questions about what our society will be like when this is all over. And I think we may be worrying more now about the future than we have been. We've gotten over the hurdles of what it's like to live either more isolated or with a lot of people in one house, and the compromises and the good surprises and the bad surprises we've dealt with that. Now we may be worrying more about what is it going to be like when we're able to get out in public, and will we do it too soon, or will it drag on too long? So the only advice I can give you about that is to always keep breathing when you start to feel yourself becoming anxious or worrying. Check your breath. You'll probably notice if you're getting worried or frightened that your breathing will get tighter. You might almost stop breathing. So just stop and breathe. Just take the time for yourself to really breathe deeply and get past that tightness. But remember too that this is that worrying doesn't help at all. Worrying doesn't help anyone, and we know that, but we get caught up in it. So my suggestion is, if you really are a worrier and you really need to worry, find a time during the day and give yourself, I'd say, 10 minutes to just worry as much as you can, and then decide that's enough for today and really make an effort to let it go. Don't hang on to it, because if we're constantly worrying, that's what we're putting out. That's what we're putting out to the world. That becomes the same kind of negative energy that we're trying to build up with positive energy when we practice loving kindness and compassion and appreciative, sympathetic joy and equanimity. Those are all qualities that we are putting out as thoughts. That's the energy we're putting out. We're putting it out to an infinite degree. But if our practice is worry, that's also what we're putting out to an infinite degree. So let's try to contain that. If you're worrying, try to worry as if you're worrying into a bucket, not out sending it out to all beings, because it's not an unhelpful emotion. We do have legitimate concerns, and we do have people that who we're taking care of and who we love, but the worry is not going to help them, and it's transmitted much more easily than this virus is even transmitted. So that's not what we want to be putting out into the world. And we have some hard times ahead, and we need to learn better ways to deal with our emotions and our feelings and our thoughts. And we're gonna have to be working to be beacons of hope and beacons of patience and determination, all those qualities that we want to develop. That's what we need to be putting out, and to be putting out in our thoughts and everything we do, not worry and fear and anxiety. So that's enough of that's my sermon for today. And remember, I'm always speaking to myself as well as to you. So okay, so let's sit together. Hopefully you've had time to find a comfortable spot. It's a little too noisy where I am and windy right now to be outside. So if I could, I'd be sitting out on my little patio, but there's too much going on out there right now, and it's sunny, but it's not the right place to be right at the moment. So find a good spot for you where you can relax, yet you can stay awake. So remember, that can be on your back on the floor, with your spine still straight and your neck straight, but you can be more relaxed. Prop your knees up, maybe put a pillow under them, put some support under your neck. Be in a chair, can be a comfortable chair, but let it be a chair where you can sit upright. The most important thing, remember, is to find a place where your body can be comfortable. But if you're sitting with a more attentive posture, however you find your attentive posture, then you'll actually be more comfortable in the long run, and you can sit and not let your body be interfering with your mind. So gently close your eyes. If your practice is to leave your eyes open, that's perfectly okay. There's so many different ways to practice. Now, as you relax into your body, really just focus on your breath. And keep bringing everything right back into your body, into the present moment. You may feel torn and distracted and pulled a lot of different ways right now. But give yourself this time. This is your break. This is your way to take care of yourself. And it's also a way for you to have something productive that you can do for the rest of the world. When you can find peace for yourself, then you are sending out peace in everything you do and the words you share with others, the actions you take, the decisions you make. They're all instilled with a sense of peace and tranquility and insight and wisdom. So there's no place else you need to be right now. Let's begin with loving friendliness practice, loving kindness, loving friendliness, metta. Because right now I'm sure that all of us have been personally affected in some way, probably all of us in so many ways, but we're seeing it hit home, I think, more and more every day. So let's begin by sending those thoughts of kindness and compassion first to ourselves. May I be free from fear and worry and anxiety. May I be well. May I feel safe. May I be content. And may I be at peace. These are wishes we're sending to ourselves. And these wishes are like blessings. May I be well. May I be free from fear, free from worry, free from anxiety. May I feel safe. May I be content. And may I be at peace. When we feel this, even just beginning to feel this generate within us, these qualities and calmness, then we're able to send it out beyond ourselves. We know how to take care of ourselves. We know what we need. We may just be beginning to work on that or beginning to feel it, but then we have that as our foundation. And from there we can move out, send these same true wishes out to others. Start with the people you have the strongest connections with. Your family members, your close friends, your extended family. May all my loved ones be free from fear, be free from worry and anxiety. May they feel safe. May they be able to care for themselves. May they be content with themselves and with their day-to-day life. And may they feel safe. And may they be at peace. Now just keep extending out these same wishes, these same thoughts. Now let's move out and think of groups you feel connected to. It might be your Sangha at the temple. It might be a classes you're taking online or groups you're staying in touch with. The different communities that you're a part of. Each one is like a community, a Sangha. So it could be a group you're part of and you're not able to meet in person, but you're chatting online, or you're checking on each other, or you're just thinking of each other. Think of one or two of those groups and think of the people in the groups. You know some probably very little, but some you're very close to. So now send out these good wishes to all of the people in these groups. May all of these people who share interests with me, who I connect with on so many different levels, may all of my little communities be well, and may all of the people in the communities feel safe. May they be free from fear and worry and anxiety. May they be dealing with the difficulties of this isolated period. May they be able to care for themselves and be content. And may they be at peace. Now just allow these same thoughts and feelings to radiate out. Just imagine your body is like the sun, and all of these thoughts are the rays coming out and extending out to infinity. We're not leaving anybody, anyone, anything, any being out. Let it move out as far as we possibly can imagine, to all parts of this earth and the living beings on this earth and in this earth, and out into space to other living beings, wherever they are, to all life, human and non-human, all creatures, all beings, whether we know them, can even imagine them. Let go of all boundaries and all separation. And may all living beings, human and non-human, be free from suffering and the causes of their suffering. Free from fear and worry and anxiety, free from hunger and thirst, and the extremes of the weather and the extremes of the disease that the entire world is being affected by. See how connected we are now to all living beings. There's no separation. The separation is only in our heads, only in our imaginations. We're all connected. And just be with this feeling of radiating out this quality, letting it become who you are. Very open-hearted, embracing everything. Letting go of anger, letting go of all of the things that are driven by our fears. Let go of our clinging. Now just come back to your breath. Stay with each inhale and each exhale. Breathe in and breathe out. Now when you're ready, just open your eyes. See how present you are in this moment. As long as we're in the present moment, we know we're okay. There's no need to worry. if you have more time to sit, either now or any time today, I think it's a really good time. That's a very good time for you to use loving kindness as a way to send your prayers. So many people are asking for prayers, or praying for others is a language that we use, even if prayer may not be our main practice. So if you have a list of the people that you're thinking of and you're wanting to pray for, I think if it's difficult for you to do prayer, you can think of centering prayer, which is pretty much the same as meditation, or we can think of loving kindness and sit with the names of the people that you're thinking about, or the people you know who are sick or going through an especially rough time right now. Even make a list of those people. And if you have a special place where you go when you're wanting to be calm and quiet, put those names there in your special spot. Put them where they're visible to you. And just send loving kindness to all of those people, to families, to the people who are sick, to people who are going through the loss or the illness of a loved one, people you know who are worried about not having jobs when this is over. There may be people you can reach out to. I've had so many people contact me to see if I'm okay and if I need anything. And while I feel very abundantly fine, just hearing from those people feels like a big warm hug. And their willingness to help out is just is always beautiful to see. So use this time not to worry, but to put people in our hearts and in our minds. I have detained immigrants that I volunteer to see, and I think about them all the time, and prisoners in our jails and in our penitentiaries, and their facilities that have closed, that have actually gotten rid of enough people, but then that creates a problem for other jails I know, where they're ending up taking on more people than they have space for. So we have so many people in our society who we don't know by name, but we know what they're going through. So if you're feeling that it's hard to feel beyond your own walls, it's very important that we keep our hearts open to the world and to all the suffering that's going on, not just now, but that's going on all the time. And what we're going through is temporary. And we see how painful it is and how hard it is to not feel frightened. So there are people who live in this kind of condition all the time of fear and worry and anxiety. So this is a good practice for us to open up and be able to recognize conditions of suffering in the world, and that we're learning how to move beyond that suffering. So thank you so much. It's my great blessing to be able to do this and to reach out to all of you. So thank you. And Easter Sunday, people are probably busy with, well, we aren't busy with family things this year, are we? Practice things at home, and Passover. There's so many religious celebrations going on, and I'm sure most of us have those that we honor and that we get to be invited in to honor. So keep your hearts open and keep your hearts full of all the beautiful joy that we can see. Especially in our area, we're beginning to see that spring might be really here. So keep all the little joys in your heart. Thank you. It's been my great honor to be able to do this. I'll be doing another meditation tomorrow and Sunday at 10. See you then, or see you, hear you, listen to you, be with you on podcast. Bye-bye.